Welcome to this episode of The Good, the Bad and the Old. We're your hosts, Mark and Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hello there.
Right, so we're back to Disney. So this is our fourth Disney. We've done Snow White, we've done Fantasia, we've done Pinocchio. Not necessarily in that order. I've got the order slow. We're going back to the next one. Now, Walt Disney did suffer losses with Pinocchio and Fantasia, didn't he? And he wanted to do something a little more commercial and shorter, right? So it's quicker to do. And this is what they come out with, Dumbo from 1941. Interesting film. I've seen it many times, and you have too, right? Yeah. We'll try something a bit different. I'll just summarise very quickly the movie, and then we can just pick the bones out of that, right? But jump in if you feel like you need to. So Dumbo, Mrs. Jumbo has a stork delivers the baby, who has inordinately big ears, and the other elephants start making fun of it almost immediately, calling it Dumbo. She just slaps them, and she loves her Dumbo. But then a gang of kids start teasing little Dumbo, who doesn't know any better. He's good natured. He thinks people are trying to be friendly with him, but these kids are being horrible, which sends Mrs. Jumbo into a rage and gets her basically locked away. Right. So poor little Dumbo's all on his own, but he gets befriended by Timothy. Is it Timothy M. Mouse? I can never remember the initial. Q Mouse. He gets befriended by the mouse. So there's an irony there: a mouse and an elephant being friends, right? And in fact, Timothy Mouse uses it later to get rid of all the horrible elephants because they're scared of him, right? Yeah. So Dumbo has very big ears, and he kind of has to become part of the clown act, right? So there's that sort of business going on. The clowns get more and more sort of, let's do this, putting him into scary situations. However, they celebrate. They have a really good night. They celebrate, get hammered, basically. But some of is it champagne gets into Dumbo's water?
Well, they show it as champagne, but it must have been like ayahuasca or something, because
fuzzy wine.
Dumbo trips out. So
must have been mescaline. It trips out, and we get the pink elephant's dream and he wakes up in a tree, and they can't work out how they got there. But some crows wake them up, and they're kind of laughing about it. And Timothy Mouse is sort of tells them off, basically. He's a poor orphan, and they forced him to be a clown, and all that. Yeah. And there's a suggestion that he flew up the tree, and we get the famous song. And then they realise Dumbo can actually fly. His ears allow him to fly, and he does fly. But just to get him going, they give him a black feather and tell him that it's magic, and that's what makes him fly. Yeah. And then the film ends with him being on a really high sort of board to jump into the water. The clowns are sad. I mean, ridiculously high, really dangerously high. And as he's going down, he loses a feather. But Timothy's going, no, it was just fake. A trick. It was a joke. You can fly, and he does indeed fly, and then becomes the toast of the circus. And we see him flying alongside the circus train with his mum let out of the cage, and the crows, his friends, and it's an happy ending. So, that's basically a very simple, straightforward story. Did you enjoy it? Have you always enjoyed it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but this is the first time I've seen it in about 20 years, and this is a very sad film. For only being an hour long, it's like, this is rough.
Yeah. Poor old Dumbo. And the thing is, he's got a good heart. He doesn't even realise people making fun of him because he wants. It's like he wants to see the best in everyone. Even though the elephants are horrible, the kids are horrible. The crows are kind of. No, I wouldn't call them horrible. Teasing, they're just teasing, but they relent. As soon as they realise what they're doing, they relent. They're nice. They're nice characters, right? So anyway, okay, it starts with the stork stuff. That is really cool. I really like all that.
I like that almost all the songs are like barbershop songs.
Yeah,
in this.
they're harmonies, aren't they, and things like
Yeah,
that. Yeah, it's a nice start, and then we also get quite a bit of animation around the train chugging up the tracks. And
yeah.
I like all that stuff. That's all fun,
Yeah,
and there's
they
like
do a few
harmonising that.
songs like in sequence without actually like having any character dialogue. So we start with the
Yeah,
Storks, then we get Casey Jr., and then we get like that's when we start getting the actual dialogue where we get introduced to all the elephants
yeah,
and
yeah.
the stork that sounds like Winnie the Pooh.
It does. It does sound like Winnie the Pooh. I like the stalk, and I also like the fact all the other animals are getting car. You know, we see the tiger cubs and the hyenas. The hyenas made me laugh. They're sleeping, and when the mum's sort of snoring, she laughs like a hyena, and the cubs
Yeah.
laugh. Things like that. It's very sweet. It's very sweet.
Mm.
Did you like the animation in this?
Yeah,
one?
the animation was really nice.
It was
Like,
simple and clean, but very good, wasn't it? They did it. They executed it very well. That's how I felt. So Jumbo Jr. is very sweet, but he sneezes and reveals these massive ears,
yeah.
which the other female
The
elephants
other
start
elephants,
mocking relentlessly.
yeah, the
Um,
elephants, they do them as like sort of gossipy socialites.
yeah, there's a
This,
bit of that about it, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, like they
oh,
do in the Jungle Book, don't they? So,
yeah,
well, maybe not so gossipy, but the characterization is kind of similar, right? So Mrs. Jumbo obviously loves Dumbo. There's a quite extended sequence where they're like she's looking after him, and it's very sweet, very sweet.
yeah.
Sweet.
Then we get
But he's also quite clumsy, isn't he? So he's tripping over
yeah,
his ears. And
we
this,
get
that.
the Rastabout song where they're sort of setting up
Oh
the town.
yeah,
He
yeah,
keeps
that
like,
was cool.
yeah, that's a good song. Bit racist, but yeah, we're just
Yeah. I mean,
well, it's not really a
they're
bit.
shown
But,
as black people, but they've basically got no faces, right? They're just
yeah, it's black people that got no faces, and also the song is about how they don't know how to read or write or do anything really, but set up tents and manual labor. It's like,
yeah, it hasn't aged brilliantly.
it's like, yeah, this song could probably slap one of those. Like, this is a view of different times.
I mean, it'd be alright as a song if it was not just black people. I think, but if it was just Carney, do you know what I mean? But it's just, yeah. But it's a good song. It's the tune is, it's good to the ear. I wonder how you could even retrofit if you ever wanted to go back and change it. Yeah, probably could.
Right.
Without changing it. They kind of did it a bit with Fantasia, did they? They did cement it in around it. It's just changing the imagery rather than anything else, actually.
Yeah.
The faces.
It's more Disney probably doesn't care enough to go back and do it. So
well, the thing is, things like that get you into controversy because the right people that are basically racists will complain about it. Right, that's what kind of happens. Why are you changing this? This is tradition. And, that's what kind of happens. Anyway, and I think I personally don't like things changing, except when it comes to children. I do believe it's okay to change text for children because adults, you can say this was made at a different time, blah blah blah, and fine. I think that's okay. But anyway, let's not get into that. I'm getting into it.
Cool. We're gonna get into it again later because there's a whole other thing.
So Dumbo's his own little sideshow, but then these boys start saying, "Look at the ears on that," and all this, and being horrible. And Mrs. Jumbo first tries to just protect him by putting him behind her, but then they pull him out by his towel and they're laughing at him. But he's smiling back 'cause he doesn't know any better. He doesn't know what cute people can be like. But she just gets annoyed.
And she starts spanking him.
Yeah, starts spanking the kid, and then
she starts chucking stuff.
Yeah, she goes completely tonto early, right, and like throwing stuff around, and the ringmaster's like there, and essentially they remove Dumbo and then lock up. I mean, removing Dumbo really kicks it off, really. So she dunks the ringmaster in the water, and she's deemed to be mad and locked up in a cage, all caged off, solitary confinement, basically. And Dumbo's blamed by all the other elephants. So he's still being treated horribly. But Timothy Mouse feels bad for him and just
this is
jumps
where
in
it
and
scares the elephants and
scares the
they'll
hell
run
out of
away.
all these horrible elephants, which is good.
And it's like a talking down, so it's like you should all be ashamed how you're treating
And
this
he
little guy.
says, we can make you a star. And then what he does is he goes, while the ringmaster's asleep, he goes and whispers in his ear some ideas about what to do with Dumbo. A stunt with Dumbo sitting at the top of a pyramid
jumping
of
at the top
elephants.
to the top of a pyramid off of a springboard.
Yeah, so Dumbo doesn't really like us, and making a pyramid of elements. Oh man, I mean it's really well animated and done, but oh man, it looks like that bottom elephant's going to get squashed basically.
Yeah.
But then Dumbo trips over his ears when they're trying to tour and knocks it all down, which means the big top even collapses, doesn't it? It's just all falls to pieces. Okay, so now it gets sort of put into the clown act, which is like
he gets demoted, and all the other elephants are like they have this weird little thing where they're like, he is no longer one of us.
Yeah,
like,
they're horrible.
Yeah,
they're terrible people. And being a clown's like the lowest of the low, it appears in this world. So he then goes into the clown act where they're doing a fireman act. So they're doing jumping through burning stuff. And the audience are cheering him and like laughing him, but he's glad the audience like it, but he obviously hates doing it and it's upset. But we got to remember he's kind of a baby still, isn't he? Right? Yeah, he's a young.
Like there's no clear sort of passage of time, so this may well be like Dumbo's a few days old.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Timothy, however, does sneak Dumbo in to see Mrs. Jumbo. They can't see each other, but they intertwine trunks. This is where it gets you, right? This
is where there's like a good 5-minute sequence of like these two can't actually see each other.
No,
and basically all they can do is kind of hold hands out of a window, and eventually Timothy has to lead him away.
Yeah, very sad. And the music sounds a bit like a mother singing a lullaby to her baby, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's that kind of musical score. So it's very, very touching. Quite kind of sweet. And so we're seeing Disney really tweaking at the heartstrings here. In a way, I don't think they do in the first few films. They don't really do that.
They realised they'd hit something here because they.
The sadness around Snow White, maybe a bit, right? But this is much stronger. It's between child and mother. They plug into it again in Bambi, don't they? And so it's not an uncommon thing. And we also see elements of it in things like Jungle Book and stuff like that later on. But this is quite sad. Anyway. So the clowns are over the moon, and they think it was.
They keep coming up with more ideas. It's like, we'll put them higher.
10 stories. Why not 100 stories? They just get while they're drinking, right? Yeah. Now it is supposed to be champagne, but it has a very strong effect on Dumbo and Timothy Mouse somewhat.
It immediately turns a bucket of water like completely green. So,
yeah. So and Dumbo's got hiccups, so Timothy's like, drink it now, quick, and all this. So they both get drunk, and then we get that rather wonderful pink elephant parade sequence, don't we?
Which goes on for far longer than you think.
Yeah,
it's like it's a song. You kind of know the whole thing. No, it's about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's very long.
Of a 60-minute film.
Yeah, I suspect it almost feels like a segment from Fantasia. I mean, not with the classical music though, right? With
especially the bit where there's like the elephant silhouettes sort of ice skate.
Yeah, but the actual song does sound a lot like the sort of Sorcerer's Apprentice. Actually, did you notice that? A little. Yeah, a little. Dun, 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 all that. So they get drunk, and then when they wake up with slightly sore heads, but they're high up in a tree, and we get the gang of crows, which is problematic these days because these are obviously black characters, talking in.
The main one's called Jim.
There's a Jim. Dandy. There's a Dandy. But the positives are they're very likable and friendly and The spirit of
They
them
help.
is
So
they're good guys, right? They're
yeah,
good guys. That is, I understand their stereotypical sort of representations, which is problematic. When you're a child, though, this is a lot of fun and is a somewhat positive image, even though it's stereotypical. That's the best you can really say, I think. Really.
yeah,
So it's such a lovely song as well. It's such a cheerful,
yeah.
joyful song as
And
well.
it's got a lot of puns. Who doesn't love that? It's like, I've seen a
Puns,
house fly, I've seen a horse fly, I've even
and
seen a dragon fly.
and there's a lot of fun in the doing the trumpet with your voice stuff. That was really
Yeah, for
cool.
like scatting.
And and the animation's really good as well. It's a great sequence. It really is fun. In fact, if I remember rightly, whenever I was a kid, there was a clip of Dumbo on. It was this one. They'd always show this one. It really promoted the brand for Disney, I think. And it's a wonderful sequence. And I just like the fact they immediately become his friend, saying, "We're sorry, we didn't when Timothy's going, "How dare you? He's an orphan." And
Like
they locked up his mother,
Yeah.
and they made him a clown. And I just like, there's one of the crows has got his back to them, and you see his shoulders raised. He's in shame of what they've been doing to this poor little elephant. And they do a song about how ridiculous it is for an elephant to fly. And the mouse, Timothy kind of says, "You must have flown. Don't get it." And then Dandy Crow suggests the feather trick, doesn't he? The old feather trick. This magic feather helps you fly. Anyway, they go to a very high point and
basically just push him off.
Dumbo does not want to go wisely, but they basically push him off. And he's plummeting, and he does actually fly. And you see, it's a great shot of his silhouette on the ground as he flies. That was a really cool idea to represent how high he was and how free and how the movement and everything. The crows are blown away as well. They think it's awesome.
And you get sort of like a mini reprise where it's like, I have seen an elephant fly. So.
And then the next night it's got the clown act, and they've put him, as they were discussing, even higher. But Timothy Mouse is sitting in his hat and sort of saying, "Okay, Dumbo, we're going to show him now. We're going to show him." And he jumps off and loses the feather.
Flies. Oh yeah, the nice bit of Timothy. I love how quick it is. As like, okay, this is a magic feather. The magic feather was fake. It's about maybe 2 minutes of screen time between those 2 points. I'd like they immediately gave up on it. It's like, no, okay, it wasn't magic. You can just fly. Like, please do that. Dumbo, we're now plummeting.
And Dumbo indeed does it, and he's flying around. He's annoying. He's
attacking.
He's attacking the horrible elephants. They deserve it, and the clowns. But the audience is soaring out. Again, we see the silhouette, but this time over the audience. That's kind of cool. It's wonderful sequence. And the film ends with the train on its tracks, happy. Dumbo's the big star sensation now, obviously.
We get like a few sort of newspaper reels. It's like, Dumbo's ears insured for $1 million. Like, baby,
now
there's one weird one where there's one weird one where it's like, we based our new planes off of elephants.
Yes.
Like, sure. Let's drop
fun. But that $1 million thing, I remember reading about an actress in the 40s famously insured her legs. She was famous for her legs, right? There was posters of her leg, emphasizing her legs, perfect legs. Betty Grable was her name, and she famously had her legs insured for $1 million. So I think that was a nod towards that. Or at least that publicity stunt kind of thing, right? With that Dumbo insured for $1 million. But we see him flying alongside the train with his mother, sitting at the back of the train, more leisure, obviously not locked
with
up.
With her own full carriage.
So. And the crows flying along with him, reprising.
Again,
I think I've seen an elephant fly as they go, and it just, I think there's what do they call it? Where a circle just closes in, and one of
Like
those kind of
a
cuts.
circle fade, I think it is.
Yeah.
George Lucas loves them.
Oh, he does. Yeah, and there are a lot of like Lauren Hardy in that. But yeah, that's it, and it's very, very fun. Yeah. So very lightweight, but a fun one. It's kind
very
of
short, 63 minutes on Disney Plus.
Yeah, like I say, they've made quite a lot of losses before. They specifically wanted something short and commercial, and I'm sure this must have made them quite a bit. I haven't actually looked into it. Oh, there was an anime strike while it was going on.
$400,000.
They probably needed that to make up for the other stuff. And I think,
according to this is again go by Wikipedia, budget of $950,000. Box office was 1.3 mil.
Okay, and it keeps making money still, right? I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, the score won an Oscar for Best Original Score, which is great. It's a great score. It's a great score. And the song "Baby Mine" was nominated for the best song. Didn't win, but was nominated for the best song. But the actual whole score, the entire score was. So we had lots of really distinctive songs. Every song's very distinctive, right? But everyone knows When I See an Elephant Fly. But Mr. Stork, Casey Jr., Song of the Roustabouts, Baby Mine. The clown one's not so memorable, but Pink Elephants on Parade is
the clown
very.
one, I'd argue it's like not even in the film. We get like 2 lines of it, and it fades out as they walk away.
It's barely anything, isn't it?
Yeah.
I did like the whole train thing. That train sound effects really sticks in the mind. That all that huffing, and all that sort of stuff.
They turn it into kind of dialogue for a bit, where it's like, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this.
Yeah.
I have done this, I have done this. So,
this was Disney's most financially successful film of the 40s. It did very well. I mean, the other ones were more almost travelogues, apart from Bambi, and the ones we've already covered. They were more like mini travelogues or composite, several stories. We'll get to them. So, so there was a touch of that. It was reasonably well received among the critics. Very genial was one of the descriptions. But the animation looked very nice. And Dumbo is like an iconic character now, right? Everyone knows who Dumbo is. It's like got high approval ratings. It's in lists of best animated movies of all time. So sounds right. Sounds right. Yeah. There's obviously we've already talked about the sort of the racial stereotypical issues built into some of it. But yeah, okay. But having said that, there's some people from the black community that actually think it should be better celebrated. Whoopi Goldberg says we should be able to buy the crows, right? Everyone remembers the crows; they're fun. So there is that, but
they sing the song that people remember from the film.
Yeah, so. They did do a remake of this, which I haven't seen. And I don't really want to see.
The thing I heard about it. Yeah, the crows and the mouse aren't in it, and so neither is most of the music.
Oh God!
I had a quick look over at the soundtrack. The only songs that carry over are "Baby Mine" and "Pink Elephants on Parade."
Yeah. It says it. Disney also on Disney Plus has suggested Dumbo be limited to 7+, because they have the reasons being there are similarities between the crow's depictions to racist minstrel shows, and I guess a 7-year-old that can be better explained to. I guess. Okay. So they have reacted somewhat. So there is some reaction. I just enjoyed this film. It's quite lightweight. I think we've covered everything really.
Yeah,
it's
only 60 minutes. I remember when back when it was on VHS, they padded it out by putting like a Noah's Ark cartoon at the end.
At the end, right? Yeah. And this was one of the first videos Disney released on VHS.
Yeah.
when they finally started releasing stuff. I think there were two. I can't remember what the other one is. Hold on, I'll see if I can find it. There was only two films initially. Alice in Wonderland, which is a good
Okay.
choice. Alice in
Yeah.
Wonderland and Dumbo were the first of Disney's canon to be released on home video. And that was when they went, I think that was when they were doing 7-year cycles. So it was only a limited release and then you couldn't get it for another 7 years. They did that for a decade or so, I think, and then gave up because it's obviously easy just to sell it when all the time, right?
Yeah.
Trying to create a fake
Artificial scarcity.
artificial scarcity is okay for some, but what happens is people don't bother after a while. Right? So very fun. Dumbo was rather good, and I just enjoyed the whole thing. Do you want to rate it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, what would you rate this?
I would put this about a 7 or an 8.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8. I'll give it a straight 8. It's, I mean, the brevity is actually one of its charms, isn't it? Because it's like, I've got an hour, I'm going to watch Dumbo, right?
Yeah.
So that's easy. That's an episode of TV almost, right?
Yeah.
But you can fit all these charming songs and imagery into all of that. Yeah, I have to mention, I've occasionally been putting Fantasia on in the background when I'm doing other stuff just to listen and because it's pleasing to the eyes, but you don't have to sit and watch it. You can just listen to the music, so it works on all scores. So I have been kind of doing that with Fantasia, actually. But Dumbo's, it's probably top tier Disney, would you say?
Yeah, I'd say it's like one of
there.
the classics of Disney.
It's above mid, but not right tip top. Let's put it that way. Yeah. All right, then let's wind up there. So next time we cover Disney, it'll be Bambi.
Yeah.
And then we get into the travelogue kind of stuff for a while. But that's all right. But yeah, okay. I think Bambo's not that long either. I think it's 75 or something. But I'm not sure. Yeah. Well, it doesn't. I don't remember it being that long, to be honest.
70 minutes.
70 minutes. There you go. There you go. All right then. Okay, let's wind up there. Bye from me.
Bye.